today's video, I'll be discussing why your AI content may not be ranking on Google. One of the main questions that I get on this channel is, does AI content rank on Google? And in my experience and the experience of many publishers, AI content definitely ranks, but you have to have the right approach. So for example, this is a website that I launched about 2 weeks ago. So August 20th, it's currently September 11th, and we already are getting 70 clicks and over 7,000 impressions with an average position of 28. We're ranking for 450 keywords. We have about 53 traffic. It's actually a little bit more than that. We are ranking for a couple of keywords within the 1st to 15th position on Google. This is very promising for a young website because, as you can see, we're already ranking for keywords within the top page of Google, and we're already ranking for some higher volume keywords as well. So you can definitely grow a website using AI content, but again, your strategy needs to be a little bit different. So if you're not ranking on Google and if your AI content is not ranking, then you're probably doing one of these 4 things. Number 1 is you're either blasting out and creating auto-generated thin content. So Google doesn't actually have a problem with AI generated content. In their documentation, they say that they're okay with AI content once it fulfills and satisfies the searcher intent. Google's priority is to make sure that they can satisfy your search query. So if you're looking for the best running shoes, they want to show websites that will display the best running shoes that's unbiased and will also give you details on those running shoes, maybe for different types of running, for different body builds, for different shoes, for different feet and whatnot. So they want to make sure that they're showing the best results so that you can get the best answer to the question in which you searched up on Google. So that's why you need to have very, very in-depth content, because when you have in-depth content, that will be a positive signal to Google, because Google will see that people will click on your website instead of your competitor's website, because maybe you have a more in-depth blog post, maybe you actually have some experience, some reviews using those running shoes. So that will be valuable to the consumer. So if Google sees that that customer A is clicking more on Runner's World compared to Gear Lab, then they're going to naturally rank Runner's World higher than Gear Lab. So in order to rank on Google, you need to have very in-depth content that satisfies that keyword or the search query that the user may have. So that's reason number 1 why you may not be ranking. You may be using a one-click AI generator tool or blasting a bunch of very thin articles to a website and expecting that website to rank. Maybe you'll get some rankings initially, but I don't think that's where niche sites or blogging websites are going to be going. I think you need to leverage AI, but you need to write more in-depth content. I have a bunch of videos in which I show you how I create content using the playground mode or using Claude, but essentially what I do is I add a little bit of a manual touch to the AI. So I will make sure that my prompts are really, really good. Then I'll generate an outline, and then once I generate that outline, sometimes I'll generate each section of that outline. So I'll generate section number 1, number 2 separately, then just copy and paste it all together. That allows me to get a more in-depth article rather than just getting the AI to write me an article about whatever topic. There's a little bit more of a manual process. It takes a little bit more time, but the outputs are a lot better, and I find that you're able to rank a lot easier when you follow this method. So it takes a little bit more time up front, but I think you're able to get a lot more value when you post your content, and it's actually getting rankings and you're getting traffic to that blog post. So if you want to check out the full tutorial of how I write content, I'll leave links for that in the description below today's video. Number 2 is maybe you just haven't created enough content. I've often seen comments where people tell me that they've created about 20 articles and nothing is ranking on Google. In order for you to do a real test, you need to have at least 100 articles on your website. That's where you're able to kind of know that you've done enough, and now you can kind of take a look at the data to see what you need to do to improve. So it may just be that you haven't posted enough content, and it doesn't take that long to create 100 articles now, especially when you're using AI. Number 3 is that maybe you haven't done enough to build authority, and this can be both related to domain authority and topical authority. So when you're creating content, I always recommend that you focus on topical authority. I've been talking about this in my past couple of videos, but essentially this is simply just focusing on a subtopic within your niche and exhausting that topic. So if you're in the running niche, maybe you talk about running shoes for outdoors, and then you write every single article you can related to running shoes for outdoors, so you can build that topical authority within that space. This allows you to rank a little bit quicker and rank for more related keywords, because Google will deem you as an authority an authority within that space. The second thing that I also recommend that you focus on is building your domain authority. Now, your domain authority or your DR rating is going to be a number between 0 and 100. The higher the number, the more domain authority your website has. So this is essentially your backlink profile, how many backlinks you have coming into your website, how authoritative those backlinks are. This will increase your domain authority. So this is good because creating content is great, but right now creating content is such a commodity that anyone can go out and create 200 articles, 300 articles for a website, but not everyone can go out and get those high domain backlinks. So if you have the budget, I recommend leveraging that in some way to be able to get some high domain backlinks, or just do some organic outreach, create some articles, create some informative information within your niche, and try to get some links to your website. If you want to see a full video of how I create backlinks using ChatGPT, again, I'll leave a link for that in the description below today's video. But I recommend focusing on building your topical authority first, and also focusing on creating your domain authority, because your domain authority will allow you to be able to rank for those higher and those more lucrative keywords within your niche. And the last reason why you may not be ranking on Google is because you're doing bad keyword research. This should probably have been number one, because the first thing that you need to do when you're creating a niche site or growing your website is doing keyword research. If you're new to a niche or you're a new website, I recommend going after keywords that have a maximum keyword difficulty of 10. So once you apply those filters on your keyword research tool, you'll be able to find keywords that are much more lucrative and much more attainable for your specific niche. So you want to find that mix between low keyword difficulty and a high search volume. For this specific keyword, we have some pretty high search volumes. So you can definitely go ahead and play around with this. You can change up the metrics. If you want the volume to be only from 500 and above, you can also go ahead and apply that to get some more detailed keywords. So this will allow you to find more keywords that are low in difficulty but have a high enough search volume that it's worth writing after. And you go after all of those low hanging fruits that will allow you to get some quick wins on your website. If you go after difficult keywords at the beginning, it will be very hard for you to start ranking for those keywords. You kind of have to work your way up. Bad keyword research also means writing on a variety of different topics, especially at the beginning of your website. You need to have a specific focus, and that's where you're able to build topical authority. So let's say, for example, you're in the running niche. You want to focus on finding keywords related to one specific subtopic within that niche and write about those keywords, not writing about running and then writing about boxing and other different sports. You want to really niche down within your niche at the beginning, build your authority, and then move on to a different topic. So these are 4 reasons why you may not be ranking your AI content on Google. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, and let me know if you need me to clarify anything that I mentioned in today's video. If you liked today's video, let it be known by giving us a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Until next time, stay well.